Hey, welcome back to my channel. And today we're talking about all the different causes for hair loss in Black women. So if that subject interests you, make sure you stay tuned all the way until the end because we are going to be diving deep into these different reasons. If you're new here, make sure that you are subscribed with your notification bell on, and let's go ahead and jump into the different reasons for hair loss. While there are many reasons for hair loss, we're going to discuss some of the main reasons. That could be hormone changes, stress, varying types of alopecia, as well as disease. So first things first, let me start by telling you all that all hair loss can be classified as alopecia. So when we are talking about hair loss, we can break it down in many different forms of alopecia. Alopecia itself means hair loss. If you're experiencing hair loss due to hormonal changes, it is classified as androgenic or telogen alopecia. This type of hair loss could be due to postpartum, shedding, menopause, birth control, or simply genetics such as male pattern baldness. This type of hair loss could also result from stress. We have to remember, you guys, that any type of extreme physical or emotional stress can cause temporary hair loss. If you are experiencing hormonal hair loss or stress-related hair loss, it can often be reversed with proper treatment and, of course, getting rid of stressors. And while we're talking about reversing the effects of alopecia, there are some alopecia that can be completely reversed, be it with products, changing your diet, steroid injections, or seeing a trichologist, dermatologist. There are a lot of different treatments that can be done. Traction alopecia, for instance, can be reversed as long as it has not caused any scarring, which we will get into scarring alopecia a little bit later. But traction alopecia is that typical hair loss that you may see if you are constantly doing braids and sew-ins and things that are really tugging on your hair and causing it to thin, especially around the edges. Now, this type of hair loss, when caught early, is completely reversible. Alopecia areata is a more common alopecia that we are seeing, especially in Black women. It tends to start in the center of the head, and it can be medically diagnosed so that you can get cranial prosthesis or wigs from your insurance company. This type of alopecia has to be diagnosed by a primary care physician or a dermatologist in order to receive those benefits. However, it can be reversed as well. Lastly, another type of reversible alopecia is anagen alopecia. This is normally seen in people who are undergoing chemotherapy or radiation. Now, while the hair may grow back after the treatments have stopped, most times the hair does not grow the same way it did. It may come back a bit more coarse and wiry. It may come back a little bit sparser than it did before. That just depends on the person. However, this type of hair loss is not necessarily permanent. Now, when we're talking about alopecia that is not reversible, we are talking about these types of alopecia. The difference is that these types of alopecia result in scarring of the follicle. Once follicle is damaged, there is no reversing it. There's no amount of steroid injections or DHT blockers or anything that can bring that hair back. The only way to grow hair in these particular areas once you've received like scarring in your follicle is to get a hair transplant, and that can cost thousands on thousands of dollars. If you did not see my last video where I discussed central centrifugal cicatricial alopecia, make sure you check out the card above, right up there. Make sure you check out that card because we talked about that right after the Jada and Will debacle. And lastly, some other causes for hair loss are thyroid disease, lupus, syphilis, trickle cell anemia, high blood pressure, kidney disease, PCOS, psoriasis. There are a number of other medical conditions that could cause hair loss. And when I speak about high blood pressure in particular, it's not necessarily the disease of high blood pressure. However, hair loss is often a side effect to the medication used to manage high blood pressure. So it could be the disease or it could be the medication used to treat it. Again, if you are suffering hair loss because of any of these diseases or as a direct result of the medication used for one of these diseases, you can also receive a prescription from your PCP or your dermatologist to get a cranioprosthesis unit through insurance. The number of women, especially Black women, suffering from varying types of alopecia has risen tremendously, with over 54.8% in just 3 states alone. So I want to know, do you know anyone that suffers from any one of these types of alopecia? If so, comment down below. And if it's you, tell me your story. What type of alopecia do you have? I hope that I was able to shed some light on the different types of alopecia and that this video was informative. If you do suffer from alopecia and you are interested in finding out more about receiving a cranioprosthesis or a medical wig to be covered by your insurance or veteran benefits, please visit my website at www.beestokestyling.com and book a virtual consultation so we can go over the steps to make that happen for you. I appreciate you all so much for watching. Make sure that you are tuned in because this is going to be a series on the channel, you guys. I hope you enjoy it, and I'm going to see y'all in the next video. Peace. Thank you for joining me for another video. If you would like access to the full video, become a beauty by joining the membership. Take a look around my website to see all the services that I offer. Then click the Join Today button to receive access to live streams, member-only content, beauty community posts, and producer credit. Thank you to all the beauties that have supported me thus far.